In this tutorial, I'm going to discuss about how to configure IP address in a router. So we're using Cisco Packet Tracer for practical basis, and using, for example, 2621 router. It's having 2 ports out there, and we need 3 port to configure router. We will configure IP address in the router, and how to do that we'll we'll understand about that. So we need the 2 port here there. We need to shut down the router first, and we have lots of ports out there, modules out there. You can see, and you can took example from here, a description of there. Basically, we need WIC1T, WIC2T. In one port, you will get 1 serial port. Here and here means 2, and if you use WIC2T, then you will get 2 ports for serial network, what we unsynchronized or unsynchronized serial network. So it means if you have a planning for a big network to establish, then you will get 4 serial ports out there. So currently we go to WC1T, connect to both, and switch on the router, and you can see it's booting. Okay, so first command will be, this is the user mode, and we have to move to privilege mode. First command will be enable, and enable have one more command which wants to discuss is show IP interface brief. So basically it show us details about the ports. So currently we have 4 ports out there: fast Ethernet port 0x0, fast Ethernet port 0x1, serial 0x0, and serial 0x1. 4 ports out there, and by default these ports were down. Router is down, and until unless you don't configure them, then we will remain down, which is not the case with switches. As soon as you connect those, they stop pinging with each other, either with a people. They somehow develop the IP, but not with the case of router. Okay, so we have to give a command called configure terminal to move to configure mode. Now what we need to do is going to interface. For example, let's start with fast Ethernet port 0x0, to give IP address. For example, wants to give a 192.168.1.1. Let me give the by default subnet of class C. And one more command is needed, is called no shutdown to up the port. So now the fast Ethernet port move to up, and let me show you at Control Z. So it goes to privilege mode and show IP interface brief. So you can see fast Ethernet port is now up. It means whatever backend device will connect, for example switch, you connect to restart pinging each other, and will be up mode, mean communication will be there. Now let me configure the serial port. So what we need to do is goes to for example interface, for example serial 0 IP address, and for example so by default I gave this IP, which is 10.1, and default mask is 255.0.0, and no shutdown to up the port. Until unless you don't use the no shutdown port, it will remain down. So make sure whenever you configure IP address, make sure to finish it with no shutdown command. Okay, so let me check the IP address. What the IP address is: IP show IP interface brief. So currently we configure fast interface 0 by 0 and serial 0 by 0. You can do that the same with fast internet 0 by 1 and serial 0 by 1. So this is basic how to configure IP address in a router. Same process in the real machine also, but since it's a practice purpose, we always use a packet tracer or Boson NetSim or GNS3 practice purpose, because we can't afford router in home. Okay, so we for the industrial purpose, for the CCNA purpose, to learn those, we need a software like this. I hope you learned something from it, how to configure IP address in the router. Thanks for watching.